Hi guys, it's Gracie from Small Worlds Big Adventures, and today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of setup and gameplay for Raising Robots and the expansion with the Inventors. We're going to do the base game first, and then afterwards we'll have bookmarked how each Inventor plays differently. So you can see here that Scott is pulling out our deluxe edition. Your copy may look a little different. Ours came with some like card sleeves and upgraded tokens. But then you know me in organization, I have a bunch of little extra organizers, so it just sits in the box better. So those little boxes are just me and my neuroses. Once everything is out of the box, each player will get their own player board, which is so fantastic. Just have your own playing area. Once the player boards are out, you'll add the central board to the center of the table. Then you'll grab the round token, this little red piece, and put him on round 1. Isn't he cute? After the round token's placed, you'll then grab these yellow energy cubes and put them to the side of the central board. Then you'll get the robot deck. This is the blue deck, and you'll shuffle it and place it in the center of the table. After that, you'll shuffle the class deck, which is the pink deck, shuffle it, and place it next to the robot deck. Then each player will be given a set of round tokens, 4 pinks, 4 blues, 4 greens, and 4 oranges. They'll find the corresponding spots in the boards sections in upgrade, assemble, design, fabricate, and recycle, and cover the corresponding circles. These are upgrade tokens. We'll talk a little bit more about that in gameplay. You'll then place tokens at the top for the tracker. The tracker keeps count of how many victory points, batteries, gears, sensors, duct tape, and programs you have throughout the game. You start the game with 3 batteries and 3 duct tape. Duct tape can be used as any other resource in this game except batteries. Each player will also get a hand of phase cards and then a deck of energy cards that matches the color of their meeple. In this case, red, Scott's favorite color. He's going through and looking at the bottom numbers on the cards to see which ones to take out. Every game, you should remove 4 cards and keep 8 based on the number of players. Once you have your energy deck, you'll shuffle it and set it to the side. The next step in setup is each player drawing 8 robot cards. They will look through and decide on 5 that they want to keep, discarding 3. While you can keep any of the robots for any reasons, I do recommend keeping at least 1 purple, 1 orange, and 1 green, if you have them in your hand. After that, you'll draw 2 class cards. These are in-game victory point cards. You'll choose one and place it to the side and discard the other. The next step in player setup is picking 2 of your robots to build for free and placing them on the board. Now you can pick different rows, or if you pick 2 robots in the same row, keep in mind that you will have an extra resource that you have to pay, even though you're building them for free. So here you'll see Scott get rid of 1 duct tape, or he could get rid of one of his other cards so that he could play 2 recycle robots. The last step in player setup is upgrading one of your phases for free. To do that, you move the token off of that phase, which will reveal a new resource you can get. Now, you can keep that resource with your other resources, or use it right away to either upgrade a robot or upgrade one of your classes, also known as getting extra credit. Upgrading a robot often gets you a better resource that you can use down the line, while upgrading a class moves you up the next level of victory points. Before we get into gameplay, I want to highlight the phases on the board. The first is the start area. This is where your meeple will stay and also shows you setup. Then we move into the upgrade phase. Here, depending on how much energy you have to spend, you can also spend resources to upgrade different phases. To do that, you'd remove a token, which would reveal another resource that you could use. If you upgrade the upgrade area, you'll have a choice between drawing the 3 new classes and keeping one, getting 2 of any resource, or getting 4 batteries. The tokens get removed from the board when you upgrade, but then can be used to upgrade robots or classes later. Then we move on to assemble. Assemble is where you can build robots. Based on the energy you have, your robot will have a little energy cost and a big energy cost. The more energy you spend, the fewer resources it is. Assemble and upgrade are the only 2 areas where you can also split energy. So if you have 4 energy to spend and upgrade or assemble, you can upgrade twice or assemble twice, spending 2 for each or 1 and 3 for each. Design, fabricate, and recycle are pretty similar. You will get energy to go there, and then you'll gain the resources based on how much energy you have. Now, unlike upgrade and assemble, here you'll get to use each one that you have at least that much. So for instance, if you had 5 energy, you could do the 1 energy and the 4 energy, but not the 7 energy parts of those phases. Now that we're done with player setup, it's time to start the round. At the beginning of each round, players reveal 2 of their energy cards. This is how much energy they have to use during 2 of the phases. They'll look through their phase cards and decide where they want to go with that energy, and then they will place it face down so that the other players won't see. Once everyone has decided, they'll flip over showing where they're going to go. Some cards won't have any icons at the top, but some will have yellow cubes, which you place on the center board. These are free energy for anyone to use. Then your meeple will move through the phases. Scott's meeple goes to assemble first. It has 1 energy, but has this symbol. That means that it gets to use twice the value of the cubes in the center board. So in total, he has 5 energy to use during assemble. Next, Scott goes into his design phase. Now there is 1 energy in the design phase on the center board and 4 energy that he drew from his cards. So that means, again, he has 5 energy that he can spend during the design phase. And the last phase he's going to do is fabricate. There's 1 energy on the board, but he doesn't have any cards, so he just has 1 energy. Now, if he wants to do more, he can spend batteries so that he moves up to the 4 energy mark. When you do a phase, you also do the robots in that phase. So Scott here could do the 1 energy, the 4 energy, and then go over to his robot and also do the 1 energy on the robot. Speaking of robots, let's talk a little bit about them. You'll see in the top left corner the energy cost we've mentioned before. Here you'll see there's 1 energy and it costs 4 resources to do it, and then 5 energy but only costs 2 resources to do it. Then in the top right corner, you'll see both the color that coordinates with the appropriate row that it would get built in, and the number of victory points it's worth at the end. Now, when you build a robot, every robot is able to do the top level if you have the energy. But if you upgrade the robot, then you can do the bottom level. After 4 rounds, you reset. You do end of round stuff like taking off the energy cubes from the center board, picking up your phase cards, but then you also pick up all of your energy cards and reshuffle them. You should have gone through your entire energy deck by this point. After you shuffled your energy cards, you'll then pick 3 class cards and then pick 1 to add to the side of your board. Through the game, you'll be given 2 class cards when you initially set up your board and then now. If you want additional class cards or to swap out the ones you have, you can upgrade the upgrade phase and select that reward. At the end of 8 rounds, it's time to tally up victory points. You'll start by tallying up the robots that you built. Again, each right corner has the number of victory points those robots are worth. Then you'll go to your class cards and tally up the victory points that you have based off those. Here, Scott has 8 programs, which gives him a C level. With his other class, he gets all 4 of the pink pig upgrades. And he has upgraded his class or got an extra credit. So he was able to get a full A, giving him a total of 14 victory points. Then you add the victory points you earned throughout the game. So in this case, Scott was able to earn 25 victory points. The 10 is on the 2, meaning 20, and then the 1 is on the 5. Lastly, you'll count up all your resources. He has 8 programs, 2 chips, 1 sensor, battery, and duct tape, and 2 cards. And he'll divide that by 3 to get his final victory points. Whoever has the most victory points at the end is the best scientist. Congratulations! One of the expansions that we have, and you may have, is the Inventor expansion. What this does is it gives you a Inventor card that you will get extra victory points or rewards based on that inventor's skills. So to help you out to understand how each one plays, we're just going to walk you through it, and then that way you have a little extra guidance. During the setup phase, what would happen is each player gets 2 inventor cards and chooses the one they want. But once you have your inventor card, we'll talk you through how each one works, starting from easiest to hardest. We are going to kick it off with Marie. Now Marie's main ability is at end of round, she can pay a resource to either get 2 resources of any kind, 3 batteries, or 2 victory points. When she gets upgraded, she can do this a second time. Next is Ada. Immediately she loses a duct tape, but in response, she gets a extra energy token that she can assign other phases to. So instead of just getting to dedicate 2 phases, she gets to dedicate 3. When she gets upgraded, that 1 energy gets flipped to a 3 energy. And so now she'll have 3 energy to assign to a phase. Immediately, Katherine allows you to draw 2 additional class cards and keep an extra. So you'll start the game with 2 class cards. At the end of the game, you'll receive extra credit for each class automatically. When you upgrade Katherine, at the end of each round, you'll get a duct tape and a battery. Seondeok allows you to build an extra robot at the beginning of the game. When you upgrade Seondeok, you also get an additional robot to build for free. With Louise, you begin the game with an extra duct tape and unlock 1 more upgrade token for free. When you upgrade Louise, you get another duct tape and another upgrade token for free. Yo-Yo, you begin the duct tape with 2 extra duct tape. Ongoing, any upgrade can count as any other upgrade token. So if you need a pink token for an upgraded robot, you can play any other color. With Steven, you begin the game with 1 fewer battery, but then you get to take Steven's energy cards. And for the 2, 2, 1, and 3 energy cards in your deck, you can replace them for all 4 of his 4s. When you upgrade him, those 4s get replaced by 6. For Shigeru, you begin the game with 1 fewer battery, but after that, each time you assemble a robot, including your starting robots, you can immediately activate them, ignoring any energy requirements. When you upgrade him, flip over your token. Each time you assemble a robot, you now also gain 1 battery and 2 victory points. With George, at the end of each round, you can activate any robot, whether you've used them or not, that has a 3 energy cost. Now, when you upgrade him, at the end of the round, you can do that ability again, but you cannot do it with the same robot twice. With Florence, you can activate any robot that you haven't used this round. And when you upgrade her, you can use a second robot that you didn't use in that round. With Florence, you choose a type of resource, either chip, program, sensor, or gear. That resource is now used like duct tape and can be used interchangeably with any other resource. At the beginning of setup, you get one of that resource, then at the end of each round, you get that resource again. If you upgrade Grace, you'll also get a battery or 2 victory points at the end of the round. Nikola can be a little difficult. Immediately during setup, you get to take both of Nikola's tokens from the game box and place it in your player board. Ongoing, during each round when you draw your energy cards, you will get to place one of those tokens on the cards of your choice. Here, Scott's placing it on the 4, and changing his mind to the 3. As you can see, both these cards have energy cubes that they get. What Nikola allows is that Scott can then place those cubes on either of the cards in any amount, but he has to do it before flipping over the phase cards. When Nikola gets upgraded, then he gets an additional token to be placed on a card. So here you can see Scott put both of them on the 3 energy. Lastly, we have Albert. Ongoing, whenever you perform the design, fabricate, or recycle phases, you may choose to convert your total energy into the lower amounts shown to perform the phase twice. So there's a little chart, but if you have 9 energy, then you would have 4 energy, but get to do each one twice. So here he would get 2 batteries and then 2 batteries, and then spend 1 battery to get 1 duct tape, and then spend 1 battery to get 1 duct tape. Then doing the same thing with his robots. So doing his 3 energy robot twice, and then his 1 energy robot twice. We hope that you got a lot of use out of this walkthrough of raising robots with the Inventors expansion. If you have any questions, drop them below, or otherwise like this video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.